Hello once again. How are you doing? Hope you're doing great. If you don't know me, I'm Sheerin and I teach American English. Today's lesson is reading from More Classic Tales Storybook. Last time we took 2 tales. So let's revise quickly what I read for you in part 4 before we start our lesson today. The first tale we took was The Beauty and the Beast. Genre: fairy tale. Characters: the merchant, the prince, Beauty and her sisters. Settings: time and the past. Place: the beast's house, or the little cottage in the woods. Beauty and the Beast tale was about a merchant who had 3 daughters. The youngest daughter was called Beauty. One day, he had to travel. Beauty asked him to bring her a rose. On his way home, a snowstorm blew in, and he was knocked off his horse. The man began looking for shelter. At last he came upon a large house. Soon he came upon a lush garden with flowers. He saw a rose bush and reached out to pluck a single rose. But he heard a loud roar behind him. The merchant was scared and begged for mercy. The beast who roared agreed on one condition, which was to bring him one of his daughters. Beauty didn't hesitate to go to the beast's house. Beauty lived there for days, which turned into weeks. She found a large library filled with books to read. Also, birds were singing for her while she was strolling in the lovely garden. At first, the beast looked scared Beauty, but she soon grew used to them. The beast always asked her to marry him, but Beauty's reply was always no. One night, she told him that she missed her family and that she longed to see her father. The beast didn't want to let her go and told her that he would die of sadness. But Beauty promised him to come back after 4 weeks to stay with him for the rest of her life. The beast agreed and gave her a magic ring to go back to the palace whenever she wanted. When she went back to her father's home, she found her sisters pretending to be happy with their husbands. But they weren't. Day after day, Beauty enjoyed being with her dad. Then one night she had a dream in which she saw that the bees were dying. Soon she used the magic ring, and in an instant she found herself at the bee's house. She ran to the garden, and there she found the bee stretched on the ground. She thought he was dead, so she took him in her arms. But the beast opened his eyes and asked her to marry him. Surprisingly, she agreed. Only then he turned into a handsome prince and told her that he was under a spell which changed him into a monster, and that he was cursed until a maiden would agree to marry him. Eventually, they got married and lived happily ever after. The second tale, The Magic Paintbrush. Genre, fairy tale. Characters, Maliang and the Emperor. Settings, time, a long time ago. Place, the land of China. The tale was about a boy named Maliang, who made a living by gathering bundles of firewood to sell. But what he really wanted to do was paint. Maliang was so poor, however, that he couldn't afford even a single paintbrush. Maliang went once to a teacher to help him learn how to paint, but the teacher laughed at him. Maliang used a twig to draw birds in the dirt. He also used his wet finger to draw fish on the rocks. One time, he got a piece of burned wood to draw animals and flowers. People saw that he could draw well. Maliang enjoyed hearing those kind words, but still he thought of having a paintbrush. One night, he dreamed of a man with a long beard and a kind face. The man gave him a magic paintbrush. He got up and painted a bird, but surprisingly, the bird chirped and flapped its wings and flew away. Maliang started to paint cows and tools for farmers, and toys for girls and boys. The greedy emperor called for the boy when he heard the news and asked him to paint a dragon, but instead Maliang painted a toad, which hopped out of the painting and landed right on the emperor's head. So the emperor threw him in jail. After a while, Liang was brought again to the emperor. He asked him to paint a tree with gold coins for leaves. But Liang painted an island instead, in the middle of the sea. On the shore of the island, he painted a tree with gold coins for leaves. He also painted a sailboat and a gentle wind. The emperor went on board with his officers and advisors. The emperor sailed towards the island. Liang painted more waves, which got higher and higher, and a huge storm. At last, the waves tore the boat to pieces, and the emperor was washed up on the shore of the island, with no way to get back to the palace. In the end, Liang went from village to another, using his magic paintbrush to help poor people wherever he went. Hi again. Our tale today is Chapter 23, The Tiger, the Brahman, and the Jackal. Let's start. Once upon a time, a tiger was caught in a trap. He tried to get out. He rolled from side to side. He tore the bars of the cage and bit them with his teeth. But it was all in vain. He couldn't get out. By chance, a poor holy man called the Brahman came by. "Let me out of this cage," roared the tiger. "Nay," replied the Brahman mildly. "You would probably eat me if I did." "Not at all," said the tiger. "On the contrary, I swear I will be forever grateful and serve you as a slave." The tiger sobbed and sighed. He wailed and wept. At last, the Brahman agreed to open the door of the cage. The tiger begged the Brahman to let him out of the cage. The tiger popped out and pounced on the Brahman. "What a fool you are," the tiger said. "What is to keep me from eating you now?" The poor Brahman pleaded for his life, but the tiger wouldn't give in. "Before you eat me," said the Brahman, "grant me one thing. Let me ask the next 4 things I see what they think of my case. I would like to know whether they think it's fair that I should be eaten up after letting you out of the cage." "Very well," said the tiger. "You may ask them what they think, but in the end I will eat you, just the same. What a fool you are, the tiger said. The Brahman went a few steps and spotted a tree. He spoke to the tree. "Tree," said the Brahman, "tell me what you think. I found a tiger in a cage. He begged me to let him out and swore he would do me no harm. Now that he's out, he swears he will eat me. I ask you, is this fair? Do I not have reason to complain?" The tree replied coldly, "What have you got to complain about? Don't I offer shade and shelter to everyone who passes by? How do they thank me for this? They tear off my branches and feed them to cows. Stop your whining. Accept your fate. Be a man." The Brahman asked the tree if it was fair for the tiger to eat him. Next, the Brahman spotted a buffalo tied to a wheel. He spoke to the buffalo. "Buffalo," said the Brahman, "tell me what you think. I found a tiger in a cage. He begged me to let him out and swore he would do me no harm. Now that he's out, he swears he will eat me. I ask you, is this fair? Do I not have reason to complain?" The buffalo answered, "You are a fool if you expect gratitude. Look at me. For years I give milk for my master. He used my milk to feed his children. Now that I'm old and my milk has run out, what does he do? He ties me to this wheel and feeds me nothing but scraps." The Brahman asked the buffalo if it was fair for the tiger to eat him. Next, the Brahman spoke to the road. "Road," said the Brahman, "tell me what you think. I found a tiger in a cage. He begged me to let him out and swore he would do me no harm. Now that he's out, he swears he will eat me. I ask you, is this fair? Do I not have reason to complain?" The road replied, "You are a fool if you expect anything else. Look at me. I'm a road. I am useful to all men. How do they repay me? All of them, rich and poor, great and small, trample on me and throw their trash upon me. Go away. Leave me alone. The Brahman asked the road if it was fair for the tiger to eat him. The fourth thing the Brahman saw was a jackal. He spoke to the jackal. "Jackal," said the Brahman, "you are my last hope. Tell me what you think. I found a tiger in a cage. He begged me to let him out and swore he would do me no harm. Now that he's out, he swears he will eat me. I ask you, is this fair? Do I not have reason to complain?" "Goodness," said the jackal, "I am confused. Would you mind explaining what happened once more?" So the Brahman told the story again. The jackal shook his head. "I am still confused," he said. "Could you take me to the cage? Perhaps if I could see it, I could understand what happened. Then I may be able to tell you what I think." The Brahman asked the jackal if it was fair for the tiger to eat him. So the Brahman led the jackal back to the cage. The tiger was waiting, and he was starting to feel hungry. "Tiger," said the Brahman, "I told this jackal what happened, but he can't quite understand it. Could I just have 5 minutes to explain it to him again?" "Very well," said the tiger. So the Brahman told the story once more, from start to finish. "I fear my wits are slow," said the jackal. "I still can't make heads or tails of this thing. How did you say it all started? The Brahman was in the cage?" The jackal was still confused. "Pooh," said the tiger. "What a fool you are! I was the one in the cage." "Of course," cried the jackal. "Now it makes sense. I was in the cage and the tiger was in the Brahman. Then the cage came walking by. No, wait, that's not right." "Fool!" roared the tiger. "What nonsense you talk! I will make you understand. Look here, I'm the tiger. See?" "Yes, my lord." "That is the Brahman." Yes, my lord. There is the cage. Yes, my lord. I was in the cage. Do you understand? Not really, said the jackal. How did you get in? Perhaps you could show me? Perhaps you could show me? Said the jackal. Oh, cried the tiger. This is how I got in, he added as he ran back into the cage. The cage was locked? Asked the jackal. Yes, said the tiger. The jackal reached over and locked the cage. Like this? He asked. Yes, said the tiger. Now, do you understand? Indeed I do, said the jackal. If you will permit me to say so, I think this is how things should remain. The jackal locked the cage. Here we go. We finished our story today. Hope you liked it. Tell me in the comments below if you liked it or not and why. And which character you prefer the most. See you next time. Bye.